Well, speaking of consuming time, the various major promotions are going to be consuming a lot of ours next weekend, Brian. I'm not happy about this. A nice holiday weekend. Weather's getting nice. Might barbecue a few wieners outside, have some weenies and beanies, have a burger and a fry or whatever the you do outside. And instead, we're going to be watching all the wrestling. What is going? Do we have firm cards yet for either one or both of these extravaganzas coming up?
I can't speak for AEW. Tony's not really known for his firmness, and usually they add a lot of matches like the day before the show.
That's true. Most of his cards are flaccid, kind of works in progress.
But it's up to you. We could start with WWE, the King and Queen of the Ring, or
okay.
AEW.
No, let's start right there because hold on now. I'm sorry, but not only will it always and forever be King of the Ring, but KOTR is a whole lot goddamn easier to write and look at than KAQOTR. So it can be the King of the Ring now with Queens. Let's break that shit up a little bit.
Well, Jim, here are the matches as listed so far on Wikipedia. The Raw bracket winner versus the SmackDown bracket winner in the King of the Ring. And, of course, the Queen of the Ring matches. Those are the first two matches listed.
All right, well, hold on here a second, because Gunther is still in play, Jey Uso is still in play, Orton is still in play, and who's the other fellow over there at the other side?
It's interesting if you look at what could play out. We could get Gunther versus Randy Orton. We could get Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga.
That's right. Tama Tonga is still around. Hey,
does Gunther deserve something? Not deserve, but should Gunther get something like this coming out of losing the belt? Will it help Jey Uso, who's super over with their fans right now? Would it do anything for Orton? And would it play into the Bloodline storyline with Tama Tonga winning?
Wouldn't do anything for Orton at this point in his career. And I don't think he needs it, but it would help the heel to have a victory over him. But I don't want to see Gunther lose again so quick, but I'm afraid that they're going to try to give Jey Uso something else to, because right now he's riding a wave of temporary insanity to be over at this level with the performance at this point, and I'm afraid they may be going to try to give him something to keep that smoke and mirror elevation job going. So I think it's going to either be Jey Uso or potentially old Tama Tonga.
Well, we shall see. That means Gunther would lose to Jey Uso on SmackDown, which would be Gunther's first televised loss.
And that's what if we can get, but if Tonga can help Gunther defeat, well, not even help Gunther, but just hurt Uso in some fashion, which would make sense, then maybe they can go in that direction. And if Gunther beat Orton, that would be a valuable use of Randy Orton and a great fucking match.
Have we ever seen Gunther versus Randy Orton? I don't think so.
No.
All right, so it's wasted in Saudi Arabia. That's a good idea.
Well, but at least they're letting us see it on the TV screen, beaming it back here on the closed circuit telecast.
So who do you pick? You have to pick someone?
Oh, goddamn it. Just all the things I just said. I don't know what they're going to fucking do.
Well, the women's final will be determined after the two semifinal matches, which will be Io Sky versus Lyra. I'm not even sure. I haven't been paying attention. Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say Valkyrie, but it's not Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria? How do you pronounce her name? I don't watch her stuff, really, so I can't.
Valerie.
And then the other bracket, we have Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair.
I don't care about all of this shit.
So who will be Queen of the Ring?
None of the above.
Oh.
I'm voting for a write-in candidate.
Well, in a match for the Women's World Championship, the champion Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan.
Oh boy, howdy. Well, at least Becky will make Liv look competitive and size-wise, since Becky is of slight build herself. Yeah, I don't care about this either.
In a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn, the champion, defends against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed.
Boy, if this was 6 months ago, I would say, immediately put that belt on Bronson Reed, and he's impressive and blah, blah, blah. And he's been kind of, even though they've done stuff with him, okay, I always compared him to Crusher Blackwell, right? Well, Blackwell, he didn't go into a territory and hang out kind of doing okay for 6 months and then suddenly start getting used in a top spot. That happens sometimes with some guys, with many guys, but it didn't happen with him because the clock was ticking. It was amazing every time you saw him that a guy that size could physically do that shit, right? That's what got him over instantly on, whenever he went somewhere. But then after a while, you had to keep using him because then the new would wear off because he could only do, certain fucking things. And if you bring a guy like this in and he can do that splash off the top and he looks so physically intimidating, but you put him in with either guys as big as he is or taller or strong, we're a battle of the brutes type of thing. Sometimes he won, sometimes he lost. He was dressing in a suit. Was he a nice guy or a fucking mama's boy? I don't know what the fuck was going on. And now he still is impressive physically when he's against the right kind of guy, but he's not making a real first impression anymore. And Gable is much more intriguing. His work is tremendous. I still want to get him away from all those fucking goofballs in his group. At least he's browbeating them. Hopefully he'll soon be finding locations around the San Fernando Valley culvert system to bury them so the FBI can't find them.
Metaphorically speaking, ladies and gentlemen.
And in a non-coercive way. But Gable's the one that should be winning this now. And I would have said Bronson Reed 6 months ago, and Sammy Sammy's still over. Sammy doesn't need it. That's just my thought. But I'm sure Sammy's probably going to fucking just win, but I'd like to see Gable.
And finally, Jim, the main event for the for the undisputed WWE Championship, the champion Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul.
Well, we know the Saudi Arabian people, or maybe not the people, but the royal family or whoever makes the decisions, they like Logan Paul. Didn't he worked with Roman in Saudi Arabia one time before, right?
Yeah.
So he's got all the social media. They see that stuff. They think, oh, wow, he's a big star. So in the process of selling them something that this isn't a major lineup, to be quite honest with you, but they got a blue $1 million for it. Logan Paul to them's a big star, but at the same time, this is the match you want to see out of all the... I guess the girl wrestling has its fans. But besides for the King of the Ring final and what that's going to entail, this is the match, and this is the most important match. And I'm anxious to see, because Logan Paul can do the athletic stuff with Ricochet. And, he, as we know from Ronda Rousey's sorry sour grapes ass, he gets plenty of time to rehearse his stuff. So with Cody, it's going to be interesting to see him have more of a traditional wrestling match and still do the snazzy razzmatazz that the young kids like. But we can see if he's picking up on his basics and if he can make the simple stuff look as smooth as it's supposed to for a real professional. And plus he gets a ton of heat. So I'm looking forward to that most of all.
Well, that will be the King and Queen of the Ring taking place.
No, that will be King of the Ring, now with queens.
In Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And that's coming up this weekend.
Why don't they have a place somewhere in the world, a city named General? So when you said, well, where's it happening? You say, well, in General.